It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your gun, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal with your host, Mike Adams, and his son, the other Mike Adams. They're locked, loaded, and ready for another exciting episode. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
I'm locked.
And I'm loaded.
Hey, we're ready to get on the trail. Hey, what'd you think about that new open?
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something a little new we're going to try, and got a guy here to hook up with us and help us out a little bit and did the announce for us. So that is the new official open of the Up North Journal. So
that's cool.
I thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And, we'll let it ride out and see what you guys think. If you like it, give us a shout back and let us know. But I would like to remind everybody we are part of the Outdoor Radio Network, and we're also over at Skinny Moose Media. You can check out our podcast on the MichiganHuntingToday.com website. We're right there in front and center if you want to stream it from the web. And this week, all new and official, we are on My Outdoor TV. And if anybody's picked us up over there, the last 10 episodes that we give them here last week that they put up for us, if you've just now joined us over here officially from the Up North Journal website, you can subscribe to the Up North Journal through iTunes, or you can subscribe to it right from the Lisbon website. And that way, you just every week it'll be there. You just click that little button and say, "I want to subscribe." So, and that way you don't have to go searching for us all the time. But we would like, right? But we want to thank everybody that has joined us from over at myoutdoortv.com, and I'd like to give them a shout out and tell those guys thank you for supporting us over there and putting us on their website. And don't forget, we are also at myhuntingandfishing.com. A guy down there in Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, who has partnered with us and helps out there. So I don't know, we're popping up everywhere, man.
We got like 5 blogs.
We're blogging and writing and product testing and talking, and man, it's know what,
fishing.
I tell you what, this has been a crazy weekend. First of all, just before we go any further, we just went through one major storm here. I actually just got back in the house. The show should have already been up on the net a little earlier tonight, but due to this storm blowing through, it hit our little town here, Linden and Fenton, Michigan, where we live just south of Flint. There was a report of 134-mile-an-hour straight-line winds that went through Fenton, about 5 miles south of here from where the house is. And I got a few phone calls because I do roofing on the side. I'm a contractor. And I had to go out and temp a few jobs real quick, make sure that they were high and dry because they had some shingles blowed off. And it's going to be a busy week this week for me, and probably next week. And you'll be out of school, so I think you're going to be helping me put a few nails in some roofs. Hey, you got to pay for those toys. Got to make some money. So, but we just got back in. A lot of trees down here in the area. Fortunately, the only thing that happened to us is we lost a little bit of aluminum fascia off the house, blew across the front there. But it was really nasty here for a few minutes.
Actually, we had Chuck come over.
Yeah, buddy of mine stopped over, was on his way over, and got caught right in the worst part of the storm when he pulled in the driveway. I actually thought we were going to have to hit the basement. It was pretty hairy there for a minute. So,
busted up the video camera.
Yeah, I got the video camera out, tried to shoot some video, and I don't know, it was pretty wild. But we made it through the storm, and we had a busy weekend, and we're going to cover our Saturday a little later in the show. I sat down with a good friend of mine, Kevin Hutchings, who actually went with me yesterday, along with my buddy Chuck and Mikey here. We went out to a humongous archery event over in Lansing that was put on by Gander Mountain. Had over 100 vendors there. It was phenomenal. And we got home late last night, and Kevin and Michael and I sat down, and we cut part of the show actually last night and talked about that. So that is at the end of the show, and make sure you hang around and listen to that because got a lot of good stuff coming up there.
Actually, last night we had a pretty bad storm, too.
Yeah, after Kevin left the house here, we had another storm blew in. So that's 2 storms in less than 24 hours. Yesterday,
we're getting one tomorrow, too.
It's crazy around here, man. Right now, the temperatures are high, really hot and humid. Matter of fact, Friday afternoon, We had some major storms blow through the area, and they had actually set the event up, the archery event over in Lansing. It started Friday, and that evening it blew some of the tents.
They said it pulled some of the tents up in the air.
Yep, pulled the tents up and blew some stuff around over there. And then another local town here it destroyed a couple of buildings. So the weather's been really bad here this week. But, we just got to put up with it and get through the summer and do a little fishing when we can. We were going to try to get out this morning, but after last night's event, we were just too whipped, too tired to get up. My brother-in-law, he could only be out for a couple hours this morning to go fishing, and by the time we kind of hooked up and called each other, it just wasn't going to work for us. But next weekend, we are hoping to get out on the river and do some catfishing. If that all works out.
Oh, next weekend?
Yeah, I don't know if I even told you that or not.
No.
So
a lot of stuff you don't tell me.
Yeah, I know. I got to keep you in the dark, keep you guessing. But hopefully we'll do that next weekend, do a little catfishing. And if you guys have looked at our video from last year on the video section of our website, you can see kind of what we got into last year. A lot of good cats.
Yeah.
We eat well after that feast or after that catch. Matter of fact, I think we got one bag of those left. We need to get rid of. Make dinner one night.
Yeah, a bag of panfish too.
Yeah, that was from ice fishing season.
Yeah.
So, what else we got going on this week? Oh, Thursday afternoon, I had an impromptu bow shoot. The guys up at Compass Outdoors, they emailed me and said, "Hey, we got some stuff we're working on. Bring your bow. Stop by on your lunch hour and let's shoot." I'm like, okay, you don't have to twist my arm for that one. So.
When was that, Thursday?
That was Thursday, yeah.
What did they have?
Well, we've got a tic-tac-toe shoot that's coming up, and that is going to be on June 22nd, which is a Sunday afternoon. If you guys live in the Flint area and anybody looking for a fun shoot, I think we've got 4 slots still open for that, I believe. It's like a tournament-style thing, bracket style. You shoot and work your way down until we get a winner, but you basically play tic-tac-toe with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And they just wanted to stop by, and we kind of did an impromptu shoot of that to make sure that it was going to work out the way they wanted it to, the rules and everything. And I got a chance to shoot, so heck, that was fun. And there's another shoot that they're thinking about doing, and they wanted to go over a few of the rules for that and see what I thought about that. Just get some input back and forth and.
Is that the Price is Right one?
No, this is called the Cinder Block Smash.
Oh, what do you have to do?
This is the whole idea. They take and build a cinder block wall, small wall, and they leave one block out, which is 8x16, and you get to shoot one time through it. And they need 50 people to sign up for this, and it's kind of steep. It's kind of a steep price. It's $25 to get into it, but the grand prize is a new bow, newly equipped bow. So they're hoping to get 50 people. If they can't get 50 people, they can't do it because they got to get enough money to pay for the bow. And it's a fundraiser for the bow range there. It's kind of an outreach program to help guys. It's like a Christian-based organization.
So what's the goal? If you shoot through the hole, then you get your name put in?
No, then you get to go to the next round.
Oh,
and then they make the hole. They make it smaller and smaller. And if you don't hit the hole, you smash the arrow and you're done.
Yeah.
So it's going to cost everybody one arrow and $25, and one guy's going to walk away with a bow. And that's if they can get 50 people to sign up. They don't know when they're going to do it yet, but that's what they're talking about doing. So that's kind of a neat.
Yeah.
So looking forward to hopefully that taking off. And then Friday, I was getting ready to take off for work. And I got, I call her Mama Coyote.
Huh.
My wife. She said, "Hey, the groundhogs are out." So I get everything ready real quick. And I'm talking less than an hour before I'm supposed to leave for work. And she had come home that day with Jake, and Jake was sick from school. He wasn't feeling good. It was really hot that day. It was over 90 degrees.
It was like 95. I think that was the day I had my graduation.
Yeah, it was super, super hot. So I got everything ready to go out and get set up to try to bust that little dude out back. And, Jake was moping around, wasn't feeling good. And I said, hey, groundhog's in the backyard. I said, I need to get rid of it. I said, you want to take a shot? He looks at me like, yeah, duh. So we get back there, and I let him take care of it, and made his day. He was a happy camper. So after that, wanted to take, and he wanted to keep it. So he's like, we're going to skin that out, right? And I'm like, well, I'm running a little late for work, He's like, oh, come on, I want to keep it. So got the skin and knives out. Like I said, it's over 90 degrees. And, man, I was just all fingers, knife blades, and elbows just working that thing. And we got it skinned out, and I got a shower and got ready and got to work on time. I was really shocked that I got it done, number one.
You did a pretty good job on fleshing it out, too.
Yeah, I didn't take my time, but I tried to be really meticulous with getting the hide, getting the flesh off the hide as I did it, And obviously, once you get up around the head cavity, it was a little bit tougher. So we took it and threw it in a garbage bag and put it in the freezer.
Let me take care of it.
Let you finish it out. So
he's out in the garage, soaking up right now.
Yeah. I come home later that night and helped you finish taking care of it a little bit, and got them all stretched out. So got us another little groundhog rug, so to speak. So what are you going to do with the one you got?
I don't know. I think I'm just going to hang it on the wall.
Okay. You're not going to use it for fly tying material?
Nah.
You're just going to let them sit there, huh?
Yeah.
Something to look at.
Yeah.
That's your first piece of taxidermy work.
Yeah, just skinning it out. Yeah, he's sitting on my desk right now. I got to get some... I have some little nails. I might actually tack it up tonight.
Oh, on the wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where I'll put it.
Yeah.
But I'll find a place.
I'm sure you will. I always seem to. Now, I'd like to mention two things that are coming up, two different events, and one of them, a guy I actually haven't met yet, but we've talked quite a bit about, or talked back and forth quite a bit here recently. And actually, he lives just about 5 or 10 miles as a crow flies here from the house, so local guy. But he works with a group that's called Benefit for Kids, and it's a nonprofit organization that tries to help raise money and grant outdoor activities and wishes of the terminally ill and life-limited children nationwide. And his group here in Michigan is fixing to have their 11th annual Amy Prey Outdoor Weekend, and this is going to be held at the Huron Point Sportsman's Club, which is in Lenox Township, Michigan. And if you want more information on this, you can go to their website, which is www.huronpoint.org. And the Huron Point is point with an E at the end of it. So it's HURONPOINTE.org. And basically, they're going to have events there, try and raise money for this organization. They're going to have an archery shoot. They're going to have a shotgun shooting contest. I believe they have a camp out, serving food. They've got raffles and all kinds of different stuff that's going on there. And they're raising, like I said, they're raising money to send these kids on these, like Make-A-Wish type hunts that they do. People who are kids who are terminally ill or life challenged. That way they can take them out and do stuff. And I think that's pretty cool.
I also saw they had a chili and dessert contest.
I didn't mention that because you got into the chili yesterday.
Yeah.
When we were at the event out there. I can't keep you away from the food. I don't know what it is with you.
Yeah. You should have tried it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I had to ride with you guys home. I was afraid what was going to happen on the way home with that chili.
Oh, we had heartburn so bad.
But back to the Benefit for Kids event. If for some reason you can't find that website, email me here at the show, Michael Adams at upnorthjournal.com, and I can get you that information. I can send you the PDF file of all the events and everything that are going to happen there. So, but we just wanted to give those guys a shout out. And actually, I've got more on another event and organization of a guy I ran into yesterday. That's just, basically the same thing, but he's working with disadvantaged youth, called Kicking Bear, and they do stuff nationwide. And it's just an amazing organization as well. So, any of these organizations, if you guys got something out there that's out there to help kids or in any way, and you want it promoted, give me a shout. I'll give a shout out on the show. If it's out there to help kids, and get into the outdoors and stuff like that, that's what we're about, promoting the outdoors for children, getting them involved in, furthering the cause of hunting and fishing and kids being able to do that. So with that being said, I'm involved in an event coming up on August 2nd, and that's with our local NWTF chapter
And I'm included also, aren't I?
Yep, you're going to be in that. It's the Jakes event. They call them the Jakes for obvious reason. Turkey Federation, Jakes, small turkeys or Jakes.
You're the Tom.
I'm the Tom. I'm not the Tom, not the boss Tom. I'm
You're
just
one
a Tom.
of the Toms.
So, but the event, we've got all kinds of activities that are going to happen that day. We've got fly tying, which you're going to be doing.
Yes.
Helping out with that, doing some fly tying for the kids. There's going to be a little trout pond there where they can catch fish. And then the Flint area steelheaders are going to help us with that. I'd like to thank those guys. And we're going to have a shotgun shoot, we're going to have a BB gun shoot, an archery shoot, and I believe they're going to have ATVs there that the kids can ride, and also have...
They're fun, but they're small.
Yeah. Well, they can't have big ones. You guys would be ripping across the parking lot.
Yeah.
But they're also going to have a birdhouse building type thing there as well. So it's a real good event for the kids. It's free. That's the biggest thing, is it's free. The Jake's event's always free. And the kids that come out, when they sign up and register to come in to the event, they get signed into the membership of the Jake's program. They get a magazine. So that's one of the other little side benefits of the deal. And it's just a great day. It's a lot of fun. We went last year, and this year we're going to work the event. So looking forward to that. So that's August 2nd, and it's at Williams Gun Site in Flint, Michigan. And if you want information on that as well, email me, and I'll get you directions to that.
Are you going to be working on anything there?
I don't know exactly where they're going to put me. I'll be doing something somewhere. Maybe.
I know I'm probably going to be inside.
You'll be inside. Time flies. Yeah, I know. And I'll probably be outside being gopher, running here to there and everywhere. Yeah. But, wherever they need me, that's where I'll be. That's whatever we can do to help out. So, but those are some of the things that we got for kids coming up. We've got some other stuff we're going to talk about later in the show with kids coming up. Stuff that particularly pertains to the event we were at yesterday, where we talked to a lot of vendors, and we've got the youth bow study, field test, whatever you want to call it, coming up.
Broadheads.
The broadhead one, the broadhead test, we're going to start in July. But just to back up on that youth bow review that we're going to do, we've got five youths, Michael being one of them, and we've got 4 other youths, one who's never shot, one who is shooting but is not quite there yet, old enough to hunt. Then we've got 2 girls that are old enough to hunt and already shooting, and then Michael. So
voila.
We've got 5 kids that we're going to, and we're talking different size ranges, different age ranges, different pull capabilities. So we're going to get a good wide range of information and review out of these 5 youths to help you, the parent, determine which bow would be best to pick for a child, which bow has the most flexibility in it as far as being able to adjust and grow with the child. We're really excited with what we've got coming up here. We've got 2 bows already in-house with us. We're expecting some more product from Bowtech Black Diamond. We're expecting some product from Parker and from PSE Browning. So those are 3 of the bigger companies who are part of this test and just awaiting to get some more product in. And like I said, we've got two of bows already in-house ready to go right now. So, but we'll talk a little more about that here at the end of the show in the talk around that we did late last night that I mentioned earlier. So
I was not for at all.
Yeah, we were pretty tired. That was a long day. So, but I tell you what, let's take a quick break. Let's get our first break out of the way. We'll come back and we'll do a little bit of outdoor news. What do you think?
That sounds good.
Okay, let's step outside real quick. We'll take a break and be right back.
If you're looking for the best in outdoor hunting and fishing podcasts, look no further than the Outdoor Radio Network. Each week we have dozens of podcasts devoted to outdoor sports, with shows like On the Water with Bob Murray, Bass Champ Journal, Surf and Shore Fishing, just to name a few. Check out all outdoor podcasts on the OutdoorRadioNetwork.com.
Welcome back, everybody. And now I'd like to cover a couple of quick topics in the outdoor news, and they come from two of my favorite states. Number one, the one that I live in, and number two, the one that I was born in. Both of them pretty good news. The first one I'm going to read here comes out of the state of Alabama, and we always hear about how numbers of hunters are declining in the United States. You know, every state's losing numbers of hunters. Every year we have less and less and less. We're not gaining those numbers back in the youth category. We're not getting youth involved in things of that nature and new hunters bringing them up through the ranks. But that's not the case for the state of Alabama, accordingly. The headline from the NRA reads, Hunting thrives in Alabama despite the drops elsewhere. Getting kids off the couch and away from the television or computer screen can be hard. A hard thing to do these days, and even harder getting them involved in the outdoors. But parents across the country try to get their kids out there and hunting and fishing and things of that nature, and it just seems to be a hard thing to do. But they say that's not the case in the state of Alabama. They say the numbers are increasing. It's not a lot. It's not a big number, but the thing is, it's not going down. But in the state of Alabama, the actual numbers of hunters, hunting licenses sold in the last 2 years has actually went up. It's been real small, about 250 people a year, but the fact remains, you say, well, that's nothing. But you know what? It's better than losing 250 people. I mean, in a whole state, 250 is not a lot. But, you know, when we're talking about other states, it says, for instance, here from 1999 to 2003, the state of Arkansas lost 25,000 hunters. West Virginia's hunting permits were down 17% from 1997 to 2006. And hunting and fishing licenses had dropped 20% in the state of Vermont over the last 20 years. So when you think of numbers like that, you say, well, 250, an average of 250 is nothing. Well, it's better than losing. I mean, if nothing else, the state of Alabama is maintaining their level of hunters. So obviously, those people in that state, they're encouraging their youth to get involved. And they're maintaining the people they've already got involved in hunting and fishing. So,
kind of like you said, like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're taking them paper cuts back.
Hey, that's it's a pretty good way, taking them back.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time. You know what? Maybe not a lot, but a little bit at a time. You know what? You may have 50 paper cuts with the 50 states, but if you start stitching them back one state at a time, pretty soon you can.
Or even one county at a time.
Even one county at a time, one city at a time. Whatever it is, the thing is you got to get involved and get these kids out there, and that's the key to it. So, that's a good analogy. I like that. That's pretty good. Now, my last piece of news from, like I said, my other favorite state, the one that I live in, is this comes from the Michigan DNR, and the NRC had their big statewide convention, vote, commission, whatever, this week, and they did a lot of different rulings on different game laws, changes, and things of that nature. And one of the biggest ones in this state has come up in the last 6 months has been the albino deer. We've talked a lot about this on the show, and actually I thought they had already voted on this and changed that law. And there were so many recommendations to change it, and I just assumed it had passed, but it hadn't until this week. Actually, this Thursday, the NRC voted, and they voted to now lift the ban on the albino deer. So now in the state of Michigan, this coming deer season, whether it be a piebald or an albino, there's going to be no distinguishing difference between them as far as being able to legally harvest them.
So what about the deal with our friend that you've been talking to?
I don't know. You talking about John Ingersoll?
Yeah, the one that had the albino.
As far as I know, from what I've read in a couple different newspaper articles, basically, that guy, from what I heard in a recent article, is out about $180,000.
So he's still getting charged, even though
he never got. He wasn't charged. He tried, from best I can remember off the top of my head. And John, if you're listening and this is wrong, email me and let me know. But from what the best I can gather is he tried to turn around and file suit against the DNR officers who illegally went in and took hair samples off that hide, ruined the hide, so it couldn't be tanned properly the way he wanted it done. I mean, they ruined the hide. They illegally took samples, and they accused him of killing a albino deer when in later fact it was found out that it wasn't. It was a piebald. So it was not an albino deer. There was a lot of confusion over that, and they went back and forth, and during the litigation, he had to put money forth to fight this. Not only that, he took a lot of repercussions in the area that he lives in, and I guess his business. He has a personal business that had suffered through all this as well.
Well, really, I was just wondering if they were going to drop it because of the law passing.
Well, I don't know. No, he was never charged. As far as I know, he was never charged. But what it did is it ruined his reputation in the area.
Yeah.
They accused him of it, then they said no, it wasn't. So, and then
they passed the law.
And now, with all that confusion going on, they have since passed this, or changed the wording, or the actual being able to legally take an albino now. In this coming fall, it's going to be a legal game to harvest. You can legally harvest an albino deer, which is nothing more than a whitetail that is genetically predisposed to having recessive genes. That's all it is.
It would be cool to get one, though.
It would be. Matter of fact, we saw the piebald here, 2 weeks ago, a week ago?
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I talked to a buddy of mine. Well, he was at the event yesterday. My buddy Ken Johnson, that we did the turkey hunting film with last year. And his neighbors have seen the same piebald. They said it's still running around here in the area, so they're seeing it on a regular basis. And but nobody has yet to catch it on tape, videotape.
Trail camera out.
I would too. Yeah, catch it on tape or a video camera, or trail cam. So there's a chance that deer will wander down behind our house here. Good chance, because those deer run the same area here quite a bit. So, but they changed that law for the albino. And one other thing they're doing up in the UP this year, and it only affects the Upper Peninsula, is the commission approved the proposal to disallow hunters with a combination license from taking a buck with fewer than 3 antler points on one side with their regular tag, and with fewer than 4 antler points on one side with the restricted tag. That sounds like a bunch of legal confusion there. Mumbo jumbo. For the best way I can explain it, what I get out of this is the state of Michigan issues what's called combination tags. You can buy a combo tag, which allows you to take one with a bow if you would like, or you can talking about bucks. Take a buck with a bow, a buck with a gun, or you can take 2 bucks with a rifle during firearm deer season. But the way it currently is for the statewide, up until this law, one of those bucks had to be 3 points on one side or bigger. Or was it 3 or 4? I can't remember.
3.
It was 3. So the buck had to have three points on one side. So it basically made you shoot a bigger buck. Now what they're saying in the Upper Peninsula this year is if you take that combo license and you want to use them during firearm deer season, one of them has to be at least 3 on one side. And the second buck you take has to be 4. So they're making you shoot 2 big bucks instead of shooting the smaller bucks. The old saying for a lot of the organizations, let them go and let them grow, so to speak. Basically not shooting the spikes, the 4 points, the 6, the smaller 6s and things like that. So, and that's what that rule there is all about, is growing bigger bucks up in the UP. So, interesting. I don't know. I don't have an opinion one way or the other at this moment because I just read it. I haven't really sat down and thought about it a whole lot yet. So, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So that's the 2 pieces of information I got this week for outdoor news. Anything you want to throw out there on that? Anything?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take another quick break. We'll come back and we'll cover Mikey's game bag, and then we'll take and do our talk around here at the end of the show that we did last night.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, let's take another step outside real quick, and we'll be right back after this.
If you're looking for the best in outdoor hunting and fishing podcasts, look no further than the Outdoor Radio Network. Each week we have dozens of podcasts devoted to outdoor sports, with shows like On the Water with Bob Murray, Bass Champ Journal, surf and shore fishing, just to name a few. Check out all outdoor podcasts on the OutdoorRadioNetwork.com.
Welcome back, and now the best part of the show, Mikey's Game Bag. Okay, well, this week on Mikey's Game Bag, just talking about archery and stuff lately, I thought I would talk about fletching this week.
You're jonesing for some bow action now, aren't you?
Yeah, I haven't been into it that much for 2 years, but I'm starting to get back into it. It's better when you get new equipment.
Yeah, well, not only that, but the big event yesterday.
Yeah, it got me pumped.
Seeing all that stuff out there did a number on you, I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, getting some new gear too helps get the youth excited about the upcoming season. So you want to talk about fletching?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you know about fletching?
I know that basically all you need is a fletching jig, and you can buy different types. You can buy fletchings, you can buy vanes, you can use feathers, different angles of stuff. There's like helix, I think.
The offset helix, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's quick spins and stuff like that. You can do a lot of stuff to your bows, and you can put it on arrow wraps. I've seen people do that and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, what's got you interested in fletching here?
I recently got some new arrows, and they had the standard 4-inch vanes on them.
Okay.
And I said, I really don't like them. I want to try something. So I went over to the fletching things and found some really cool zebra ones.
Well,
stripes.
We got them here. What now? When you say cool zebra stripes, what's different about these versus the regular fletchings?
These are mini blazers. They're 2-inch mini blazers.
Okay. Now, when you're talking 2-inch mini blazer versus a 4-inch standard plastic vane, for guys who don't know, what's the difference?
The length and how they're shaped.
Okay. They're a little bit shorter as far as height off of the actual arrow. They don't stick up as high. And like you said, they are shorter. Yeah. So what that does is I don't mean to step on your toes here, but...
Yeah, well, I really don't know that much about mini blazers.
It reduces drag on the arrow, and it helps to... The smaller vanes help to steer the arrow a little better. It gives you a tighter grouping. I don't know what the exact science behind all of it, but there's less drag on the arrow because there's less material out there flying on the arrow. I know I put these on my arrows last year, on a group of my arrows, and it tightened up my grouping quite a bit. Did you shoot any of them last year? Did I do any of those for you?
Actually, about half dozen of my Carbon Expresses are mini blazers.
Okay, all right.
But they're camouflage, and these ones are zebras.
Yeah, you wanted some cool gee whiz type looking ones for the range, huh?
Yeah, for the range and for hunting.
Okay. Well, these are zebra stripe, white and black, and then you got some tiger stripe.
Yeah, I got some tiger stripes.
So orange and black. I don't know, man. You guys and your funky colors there, all kinds of jive stuff that you want to put on your stuff, man.
Well, the guy at that range, he had some pretty cool ones. He had I think he had blue ones or yellow ones.
Oh, were they zebra striped?
Yeah, they were zebra striped, and then he had some cheetah ones and pretty cool.
Okay, I didn't see him. I wasn't paying much attention.
And he had arrow wraps.
Did he? Okay. Yeah, but that's the range, man. You're actually gonna put them out in the woods?
Yeah.
Okay. Some zebra patterns.
Deer
in the
colorblind.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't like walking with something white out in the woods. I'm funny about that. But Kevin Hutchins, our buddy that's going to talk here in a few minutes on the show, he wants white ones on his as well.
Yeah, for blood.
A lot of guys will use that to determine what type of blood they're getting once they shoot an animal. Figure out if it's what type of hit they got on it and where they actually hit the animal. By the darkness of the blood, how frothy it is, or if it's bubbly, or if it's bright red. So you're going to try your hand at fletching?
Yeah.
And what do you think you got to do first here?
First, obviously, I have to take the old vanes off.
Okay, how you going to do that?
I think we did it with razor blades last time.
Yeah.
Scrape it off.
Yeah.
And then
you don't want to shave the carbon off now.
No.
Or the wrap, the arrow wrap. Are your arrows wrapped?
Yeah, they're camouflage.
They're camo. Okay. So you got to be really careful. What I did last year is take a razor blade, a straight edge razor blade, and I took it and really lightly just used it straight up and down on the arrow and scraped it back and forth, and scraped that glue line off there. You want that arrow clean. Get that old glue off of there, so you've got a nice smooth surface to apply your new one to. So, you know what this is, right?
Yeah, the Fletching jig.
Got to have a Fletching jig. And
there's different types.
Whoops, sorry about that.
yours is kind of different than the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, this is like a torpedo type, and then it's spring loaded and it opens up. It's not, I've never seen one like this other than this one here. This is
Actually, I saw some at Gander Mountain.
You seen
night.
This one? Okay.
Yes, there was olive drab one, and then there was the blue one.
Okay, yeah, I got the blue one. It looks like a torpedo type thing, but the rest of them, even the other boning ones. From Boring
stationary.
From Boring Archery, they're I don't know, it's like a flat piece of plastic with, I don't know, it's really odd shaped device, and it doesn't look anything like this one here. But this is the one we got, and it works well. I used it a lot last year, and matter of fact, I've got some more of mine that I have to do again. So not again, but some more that I want to do. I didn't do all of mine last year.
You do some for Kevin too.
Yeah, and I got to do some more for Kevin. So. We kind of got into that last year, and it worked well, and we're going to continue to take off with that process. So you're going to doctor up some arrows, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do a few tonight.
Okay. You know what? That might be something good to put on your blog. You haven't blogged in a while.
No.
Over there.
My blog slide away.
Yeah, well, I think it's about time, especially with all of our field testing coming up and the youth bow review. It might be time for you to put the pen back to the paper, so to speak.
Yeah.
Or the fingers to the keyboard.
Yeah, I might make a different blog. My other one hasn't been getting any hits or anything.
That's because you don't update it.
Yeah.
But you know what? You start updating it, we'll promote it here on the show, and I'm quite sure that the guys will go over there and hit it quite regularly, especially kids your age. I don't know of too many kids out there your age that blog about the outdoors and tips and techniques, so that would be a good thing to do. You guys can hear my dog howling in the background. I don't know why, but he's going nuts outside, so I apologize for that. So, all right, well, Fletching jig here. We got the Fletching jig. You got your mini blazers. We got the glue. You got your arrows. So you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Gonna put some new feathers or some new veins on the old arrows, huh?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. The mystical flight of the arrow. Nothing quite like it.
I'd like to try to get some old ones for recurves and try to put some feathers on them.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I've never done any feathers before.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to try to do. We might have to try that and see how those work. Yeah, shoot the recurves. Go back to the traditional.
Pull the tread bar to.
Yep, the old traditional way. Well, today you actually got out and you did shoot a little bit. Like I said,
actually I did shoot a little bit today.
We got out and got the bows out and threw a few arrows down range. How'd you do?
It took me a few rounds to get starting the pattern, and then towards the end I was starting to get them good after adjusting the sights a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's that's the first time you've got out and seriously shot this year, isn't it? Or no, maybe that's the second time.
Well, yeah, because we shot at the range.
Yeah, okay. So it's just getting tuned up, getting back out there and getting with it. And I shot today. Wasn't real happy the way I shot. I wasn't dissatisfied.
But it was hot.
It was real hot, but I was having trouble with my left shoulder, my left arm. I had some pain shooting through it, and I don't know if that's from the contractor work that I do or if it's the lack of shooting and toning my muscle, which I've got to do. And
Didn't you have some trouble with that arm a few years ago?
I've had trouble with both my arms, but nothing like it has been here lately. But we've got a device here that we're actually going to try. We picked up yesterday. It's and we're going to talk about that a little bit here towards the end of the show, so I won't give that away.
Plastic brass knuckles.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, plastic brass knuckles. But it's an exercise device that you use your bow with to strengthen and tone your muscles. And we're going to both be doing this and trying this device and letting you know how it works. And something to try out, tone those muscles and get ready for season. That doesn't take the place of shooting, though. So we got to get out there and practice, and I can't stress that enough. If you go out and you shoot 2-3 times a week, if it's only 15, 30 arrows downrange, you got to do that. It's just muscle memory, and that's what we need to do, tone those muscles and get them back in tune and get them ready for the upcoming archery season. So Is that going to take care of Mikey's game bag for the week?
Yeah, I was talking about fletching. Next week I might talk about arrow wraps. I want to try to find a few of them and try to maybe buy a few carbon arrows just for practice.
You got your arrows from last year. Those are just blank carbons, aren't they?
Carbon expresses, yeah. They don't have any wraps.
Well, maybe we can put a few wraps on and see how that kind of works out.
Try to find some zebra wraps.
You and your zebra patterns, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Yeah, they're cool.
Cool. Next thing you're going to want some zebra loincloth or some zebra underwear. Crazy kids, I tell you. What are we going to do with them? I guess we just take them out in the woods and turn them loose. So, is that it for Mikey's game bag this week?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, as we've been talking about the whole show, the huge archery event we attended last night, or yesterday, all day yesterday, we were at that event for 12 hours. We were dead tired when we came home.
Everyone kept asking me, you're still here? You should just get a job here, man.
I know it. Everybody kept looking at it because we go from one vendor to the next, and we talk to them. You must
have done 16 interviews.
I don't know if we did that many. I know we did a bunch. And my goal is to take and do these interviews, hopefully one a week, and continue them through the season up until archery season.
Are you going to use the video form and put them on YouTube?
Going to try to do that too. Yes, we are. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up as far as archery goes. If you guys are into it, check it out. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're going to keep you updated as to what we're doing. And if you're not an archery hunter and you want to learn a little more about it, tune into the show as well. I mean, we're not going to talk totally archery. We're still going to continue to talk about the other things we do, the fishing that we do. We got some reloading that we're going to be doing coming up. I actually got some more stuff last night while we were at Gander Mountain to do the reloading with. And I actually read, if you're listening to the show, I know you are on Monday morning at work. My good buddy Kevin, that's actually going to talk here in a few minutes on the show that we taped last night. He gave me a book to read on reloading, and I have read probably 4/5 of it. I'm almost through the book, the reading portion of it, learning. And the thing that I've really found out about it, it's simple, but it's not simple. It's not hard to do, but there is some key things that you really need to pay attention to.
Otherwise, you can hurt yourself.
Hurt yourself, kill yourself, or ruin your equipment.
Others.
But it's just paying attention to the little detail. Something that seems so insignificant can be detrimental. But it's not that hard. It's just you got to pay attention to those things. So I'm learning quite a bit just by reading this book. And Kevin's been reloading for quite some time, and he's going to introduce us to it here in the upcoming weeks, and we're going to start doing that, reloading the 22 Hornets.
Yeah. We've
got all the brass. I've got the primers. We've got the powder. We've got the bullets. And we've got the dies bought.
So you're ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock, man. I just give him about 75, 80 rounds of brass last night that he's going to tumble, and we've already got another 200 rounds of brass down at his house that we just ordered in. So we're ready to rock and roll with that and get them out on the range and test them. Actually, we've got 2 different types of bullets we're going to load up to begin with.
Okay.
We got some VMAX, plastic tip, ballistic tip 22s, and then we've got
Teflon or just ballistic?
No, they're just the ballistic plastic, red tipped. Okay.
Isn't the Teflon stuff illegal?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I've heard of Teflon.
I don't pay that much attention to that.
Because me and Chuck, we saw some last night at the reloading stuff.
Well, then if they're there selling it, that's not illegal.
Okay.
And then I got some regular hollow points. So we're going to put, we're going to load some hollow points. We're going to load the ballistic tips. We're going to load them the same. And then we're either the same weight bullet. And then we're going to put them on paper and see how they do against each other and see which one's the best, for my gun.
And then see which one tumbles more chucks.
Tumbles more chucks? Well, I'm sure they'll both tumble some chucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that pops out there in that field that's a woodchuck, it's going to be...
well, I wonder what the difference of the entry hole would be.
Well, that's something we could always check out later. Yeah, at a later time. We could do some testing on that as well, as far as what kind of entry hole they make. The only way to really check that is either ballistic gelatin or either put it to use in the field and see what it does to the woodchucks. So, but that's something else that we're looking forward to this year. So, we're going to be covering quite a bit. It's not going to be totally archery here. So I didn't mean to get off track there. So, With that being said, I think it's time to pop the interview here and that we did last night with Kevin after we got home. And let's take
I was not into it at all.
No, you were pretty tired.
Yeah.
And let's take a listen to that, and we'll come back after that and wrap up the show. So we just got back from the big archery event in Lansing, sitting here with Kevin Hutchins. For those of you who don't know, he's been part of the Up North Journal team here off and on, helping me out for the last, over a year. I don't even want to see how long we've known each other. It's been a long time.
That's too scary. Hell date us.
Before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout-out. I just read an email from Bob Rich. Bob, you don't get to hear from Kevin and I both at the same time. This is the first time, and seeing that you went out coyote hunting, and evidently it was a little too warm for you. Don't feel bad because it's hot here, too. We've been in the 90s, but just want to give you a quick shout-out and say sorry you didn't get a coyote this weekend, but if I know you, you'll be right back out there after him again next weekend, so... And well, Michael's just walked in here with us, and actually we're going to make this kind of like a little three-way conversation about what we did today. Like I said, we just got back from that big archery event. I've never been so tired in all my life. We spent 12 hours out there today. Overall, I thought it was an excellent show. We made a lot of contacts, got a lot of information today, and I really look forward to the broadhead testing. We made some great contacts for kids' youth bows. And we're going to be getting some product in-house for that. And I think that's going to go a long ways at helping get some kids some information and getting them out there. But, Kevin?
And not only that, I think it was great to meet people like Ray Howell with his...
the Kicking Bear.
The Kicking Bear program with disadvantaged children.
Yeah.
And, that national program, getting to hook up with him and hopefully do something in the future with getting some information back and forth and covering some of his events. That was phenomenal stories listening to him talk about changing kids' lives. It's
a great outreach program, and it's a nonprofit organization that basically takes disadvantaged youth and kids who come from a broken home or a background.
Like inner city kids.
Yeah, and he gets them in the outdoors, gets them involved, gets them into outdoor type activities.
He looks like the Hulk.
He looks like the Hulk. He's a big guy.
Yeah, big guy.
Looks like a gentle giant, though. He's just a real pleasant man. And hopefully we're going to work with him on either promoting some of his events. If we're fortunate enough, we might get to go over and shoot some video at one of his events. And he's going to send some stories over that some of his kids have wrote, and we're going to put those on the blog site for the kids' youth essay program.
To those stories
so
and see what they had to say.
Really looking forward to that. But what impressed me about the show today was how approachable these vendors were, these factory reps. In a lot of cases, the factory presidents or CEOs themselves who were there.
National sales
managers.
I was going to say the same, how approachable. That's the word, approachable they were, because you just walk right up and just get into conversation, and we had some of these guys we couldn't get away from even.
You'd be standing there and all of a sudden an hour's passed.
Yeah.
Like that guy from PSE.
Yeah, the guy from PSE that we talked to, who's going to hook us up with some youth bows, the Micro Midas, the Adrenaline,
yeah,
and who's going to be sending us some product for the kids to field test there. We talked with the guys from Bowtech, who are already on board with the field testing program, and American Broadhead, Aftershock, G5, Parker, Rage, Carbon Express was there.
Guy with the blood tracker stuff.
Blue Spot, I believe.
Blue Star.
Blue Star
with Blood Glow.
And the list just goes on and on and on. Quickie Quiver was there.
Scentlock Lacrosse.
Scentlock Lacrosse was there. We actually didn't talk to those guys.
Ameristat was there too, I think.
Ameristat, Eastman.
Primos.
Third Hand Archery Accessories. The Ultimate Deer Hanger. That was the Gambro hanger, the guy that made that system. That was pretty neat. And we mentioned PSC.
Who's that scent guy?
I got his card here, too.
Yeah. He gave us some product.
Country Woods Archery.
I'll tell you what I was really impressed with. I was really impressed with Ken and Derek and Mike from Gander Mountain.
They put on one heck of a show.
They put on a heck of a show.
And from what I gathered, this was their first attempt at a archery event.
Just a pure archery event, yeah.
And, I can't say enough for those guys. They helped us get some stuff set up. They got us set up with some nice gear. I mean, we're talking they did some nice job outfitting some kids with some bows. I can't say enough for what those guys did for us. They give us complete access to the whole place, to all the vendors.
Personal, very easy to talk to. Ken Morrison, Derek Holmes. Ken's the manager. Derek's the assistant manager. Two guys, you walk right up, talk to you, know what we're talking. It's, this is what they love to do, is obvious, and they're really into supporting the kids, which was phenomenal for what we're doing. It's wonderful doing. Then we had Mike Love back at. He's the tech for the bow tech.
Yep.
Walking us through setting these bows up, going through each step.
Showing how to change draw links, how to put knocks on the arrows, how to check
why you
draw.
did it this way, why you should do it this way. Some of the mistakes people make by trying to do it themselves and causing more problems and whatnot.
And things they should take a bow to a pro shop to set up. Right. And we shot a lot of video today, interviews, and that stuff is we're going to have up on the podcast here in the upcoming weeks. There was just it's overwhelming the amount of information that we got today, the amount of cooperation we got today, and
fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly, say some of these other events I've been to like that, it seems like you're going into one after another sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch. These guys were not sales pitchers.
No, a lot of them wanted to talk more about hunting and fishing than they did their product.
They talk about their product.
Right.
They show you how it worked with their hunts and stuff, but they want to talk about the hunts.
Yep.
And what I was seeing, a lot of these guys were talking about kids.
Kids.
Kids. Everybody's starting to identify that
this is where it's at.
Kids are our future.
And if we don't get these kids early and get them excited about shooting, excited about archery, or about hunting, or about fishing in the outdoors, that, you know what, we're no longer going to have a heritage to pass on.
Exactly.
And all these guys are on board. I mean, everybody we talked to today was about getting kids on board and helping them get started,
I mean, not even the bow guys talking about the youth bows they had, the products they had to handle the use, but like Aftershock Archery. Sitting there, they got a video about their arrowheads, but they've got a kid
taking his first deer,
getting his first deer with one.
Yep.
And that was their video, and showing that kid so excited about getting that first deer.
High fiving,
I had more fun watching that than anything else.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The amount of availability they had, number one, but helping kids get started into archery or into hunting. We kind of come across and told them what we were all about there, and all we got was, you guys are doing the right thing. Great, hats off to you. Congratulations. You're on the right track. And what can we do to help you?
Everybody was like, what could they do to help?
That was I guess that was the one thing that really floored me about the whole day today. Not only how much Gander Mountain helped us out, but everybody there. I mean, it was, what can we do to help you? And, it was just, I've never been to an event like that in my life. I've been to other places who have these big waterfowl classics or big buck classics, or Woods and Water weekend event that we have coming up here in September in Emily City. I've been to that before. These other outdoor RAMA type events, and it's like you're walking through, like you said, a sales pitch. People trying to sell you hunts, people trying to sell you this, that, or the other. And you just get overwhelmed with stuff, and it's so packed. And it wasn't the fact that they had no traffic today; they had plenty of traffic at that event, but it was a continual flow. It wasn't like you were elbow to elbow and you couldn't move or breathe.
Yep.
Everybody, it was a right amount of flow. It was a continual flow all day.
And they took the time out to talk to us. I mean, like, we stopped at the PSE Browning, and we talked to their national sales rep, Paul. I don't remember Paul's last name.
I got your card here, bud, somewhere.
Yeah, we got you. I talked to so many people today. I remember Paul. You can't forget Paul.
Paul was very outspoken. I enjoyed the heck out of talking to him.
Well-spoken too.
Paul Penix,
regional
sales manager.
Regional sales manager. Very nice guy. Very standing behind, the youth and getting kids involved. But then he just took the time just to talk with us about involving youth.
Getting involved.
Not necessarily with his products.
Exactly.
But just getting kids involved and how important that is.
And that's everybody is starting to key in on this, and I think that's a huge thing that these companies need to realize. Like you said, the kids are the future. And one guy there, I don't remember who it was, may have been Paul, who said the average median age of a bow hunter is now 44 years old.
Yeah, that was Paul we were talking about.
And it floored me. I mean, I figured, 35, 40. He said 44. Maybe it was
44.
right around 44 years old.
43 or something.
And I was just flabbergasted. And I said, that statistic needs to change.
Yeah.
It should be down in the 20s. We ought to be
Pulling it down with kids.
Yeah, kids. We need to get kids involved. And if that number keeps climbing, that tells me that our median age is getting older. Number one, that's obvious, but that we're losing young hunters. We're not replacing hunters. And that's a statistic we've talked about on this show, Michael and I, many times, that we're losing hunters at an alarming rate every year.
Yeah.
But I did see one good statistic this week that I'll just kind of throw out here, that the state of Alabama actually increased hunter numbers last year. The only state in the 50 states that actually increased.
Michigan dropped.
It was less than 1,000 hunters, but still they did increase. It wasn't a drop. So
I did notice today walking around the event, I saw a lot of kids there.
there was a lot of kids there.
A lot of kids there. That was good to see.
That's one thing. Guys, if you go to these events, take your kids with you. They may nag you a little bit and want to play with stuff and nag you and wanting to pop or something like that. But you know what? You got to get them out there and get them involved in this stuff at
Don't
their age.
take them there just to have them follow you around. Though.
Right. Get them involved.
Take them there and have them take you to the things they're interested in and take a look and pay attention.
They had a bow shoot there for kids.
Yep.
Chuck was like a big kid.
Chuck was a big kid there. Chuck, our buddy Chuck Parr went with us, and I want to get an interview with him here on the show about this here in the upcoming weeks, because he looked at this whole thing from a different set of eyes. Our buddy Chuck that went with us, he's not an archer. He's never actively shot. He's never actively bow hunted, and we're in the process of trying to get him into the sport and get him educated into the bow hunting scene. And he was like a kid in a candy store,
He
he's like,
definitely had fun. I was watching him today.
and I was kind of worried about that, taking a non-archer to an archery-only event. And he was just like a sponge, man. He was soaking up information. And he's truly excited about learning about the archery sport. So we took I call Chuck our big kid. We took our big kid with us today, and he had fun. So,
another interesting thing I saw at this event, talking to all these folks, was, a lot of them do this as something secondary that they enjoy.
yeah, it's a secondary job for him.
Exactly. This is the thing they like to do outside of their job.
Right.
I mean, even the point that we met one of my daughter's new professors coming up for college.
Yeah, that's odd.
That was, here is a professor of business from CMU,
Right.
and he's down there with the hanging buck product for quartering your deer out.
Yep. Oh, the guy who had the Gambro product.
The gamble product.
Yep.
Yep.
And there, I don't. How did you pick up on it? That's who he is with. Ultimate Deer Hanger
Yep.
is who he was with. But
Dr. Frank Andera.
how did you pick up that he was from CMU? Did he have a CMU hat or something on?
No, I don't remember what we were talking about. They said something about from being out in the central Michigan area.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, we were just up there because my daughter just took the orientation for college. And he's like, well, I might be one of her professors. What's she doing? I said,
Yeah.
business. Well, I'm the business professor. And I was
Yeah.
like, really? So we chatted. And when Megan showed up, she went and talked to him for a while.
And found out she's going to have him second semester for a class.
Second semester class.
Small world.
But a good connection, too, is he's getting her hooked up with information about their local bow club.
Okay.
And also got her some information about a rifle team up there.
Oh, boy, that brings back memories.
Yeah, we won't go there.
For those of you who may be new to the podcast, we used to shoot on the Eastern Michigan Rifle Team many moons ago. We won't say how many, but I tell you, those were some fond memories back at college days shooting there on the rifle team. Now, you say university and guns on campus now, and it draws a different attention.
It does draw different.
Times are different, but I just can't say enough of how much fun I had today and how much information we got. And I tell you, folks, you guys have got to tune back into the podcast here in the upcoming weeks. Our goal is to take, hopefully, one interview a week and kind of ramp up and gear up towards the bow season. For those of you who don't know, may be new to the podcast, I know we just partnered up with My Outdoor TV. And if you've been over there and found your way over to the actual site where we upload everything to, I want to just encourage you guys to come back, because we're going to ramp everything up towards bow season here in the next coming months. And July 12th, we're hopefully going to have everybody in place to start doing our broadhead field test. And I dare say we've got 7 or 8 companies now on board.
On board, right? And they were all gung-ho for helping us out.
Yeah.
No hesitation at all.
I mean, just to run through them again, you know, we mentioned most of them already, but G5, Muzzy,
American Broadhead,
Grim Reaper,
Aftershock,
Steel Force. They weren't at the show today, but they're on board for the test. Trying to think of their company, Crimson Talon. So they're right there. There's 7 that I can name off right off the top of my head, and I'm sure there's somebody I left out. And if I have, I apologize. It's just.
Did you guys get Rage?
Rage is going to contact us. Actually, we're waiting. We've got information going out to them, and we're going to hear back from them. So hopefully they'll join and jump on board also. So you're talking 7 heavy hitters in the industry.
Yep.
And it's going to be, you know,
they're all good products. It's going to be really interesting to go through them, take a look at them.
Yeah, they're all capable of killing big game.
Yep.
And we're going to do some unique testing with these products. We're not going to shoot steel drums. We're not going to shoot plywood. We're not going to shoot foam books because you're not going to encounter that in the woods. And if you're shooting steel drums in the woods, you're hunting in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my deer wears armor plate.
Yeah, you know.
Hides behind walls.
We got a couple unique ideas that we're going to come up with here, hopefully, or at least that you'll find unique in innovative ways to field test these things, and we're going to see which one packs the punch. We're going to see which one flies the straightest comparatively to a field tip. You know, they all say they do it.
Mechanicals too.
We got mechanicals on board.
We are some old-fashioned fixed blade guys, and
yep,
we're going to take some honest look at the mechanicals. I know they've changed over the years. When they first came out, there's a lot of concern about the ability for them to function.
Yeah, my biggest concern was failure. Mechanical things fail, you know. But I think maybe now technology has come far enough that I feel like I might be missing something here.
I think they've been out in the field long enough. I think they've worked some of the bugs out that we were concerned about years ago when they first came out. It's time for us to
give them an honest look.
Get those old folk blinders off and take a look. You see.
Yeah, I've got some preconceived notions about things, and I'm willing to look past that and give everything here an honest shot, and that's what we're going to do with these products.
We had some good discussions with some of the mechanical guys.
And so we've got that to look forward to starting in hopefully in July. Like I said, we've got everybody on board with that. And
we're going to have some reps actually hopefully on site for the testing. It sounds like G5 will be there.
G5 and American Broadhead are actually going to have factory reps on site for the test. And they're going to go head-to-head. And that ought to be really interesting.
Test that.
Well, we've got 2 different places, possibly 3, and we've yet to pick a site. So once we do that, that's one of the things we need to work out. It's not that we don't know where we're going to test. We've got 2 sites for sure that we can do it, and we just got to pick which is the best and possibly a third. So not only that, this coming summer, we've got youth bows. I've actually got youth bows in hand right now that we're going to put onto the range. Number one, with these, we got 5 kids, and we've got 3 of them that are hunting, 1 who is not old enough to hunt yet but is currently shooting, and a 5th one is a child who wants to start shooting who's never shot. And we're going to put a bow in their hand. So once we get these in hand and in house, we're going to start talking with the kids. We're going to find out what they like about them, what they don't like about them. We're going to look at how adjustable they are, how much flexibility these bows have. And, you know, I have yet to see an honest comparison of youth bows in the industry.
And it looks like we've got a good cross-cut of big-name, popular bows that everybody's going to know about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got PSE and Browning on board.
Right.
We got Parker.
Right.
You know, we've got Bowtech Diamond.
Yep.
We've got some really nice bows that are designed for kids that are growing or small frame use or women. So we got some nice bows.
Got some good equipment.
You know, I want to give a shout out again to Ken Morrison at Gainer Mountain. You know, he didn't let us leave the building without having a couple bows in our hands.
That's right.
He had Mike Love do the setup for us. It was just phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Here's a guy that is geared into getting kids out there. And we can't say enough of, you know, just how Gainer Mountain and Ken have put together their support for our youth.
You know, and what really impressed me is when we did the setup, and we shot all this on video, by the way, and kind of give you some tips along the way as to figure out maybe questions you need to ask, some things you need to look at, and how easy or how hard some of these steps are. But what really impressed me is when we got to the counter to set these bows up, he didn't look at me or you. He looked at Michael and he looked at your daughter straight on and said, okay, here's what we need to find out. What are you doing with the bow? How are you doing this? What are you doing with that? Ask them straight up questions. He interacted with them. He didn't interact with you and me.
He was talking to the right person.
He was talking to the person who's using the bow.
Exactly.
And that's a common problem a lot of parents make is they want to get right in the middle and said, no, this is what he needs. This is what he's going to do. You know what? Let the pro make the setup on that. You know, we commonly will, as a parent, will think they need something heavier to pull back where they're struggling.
We want them to grow into it.
Yeah,
we don't want to buy another bow down the line.
We don't want to buy something too small.
We're trying to kill that myth. You don't need to do that. These new bows will grow.
That's right.
They're setting up bows for us that if the kid outgrows the poundage that it's maxed out at, every single one of these bow companies, it seems like now, has a program where for $50 or $60,
you can get a new set of limbs.
You'll get a new set of limbs that takes it to the next weight level.
Right.
We have youth bows that are going to go up to 50, 60 pounds.
That as an
It'll
adult.
Take anything walking in North America.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
So it's a lot of them call it the Grow With Me program or the Grow With You program, or, you know, what have you. But
mine was set at 40. What is it, the maximum?
Yours goes from, I think yours is a 40 to 50, you know. But he took the time with you, and he set that bow up, you know. He shot straight with you. This is what we need to do for draw length. This is what we need to do for poundage. Go over to the range, test it a little bit. Okay, we need to tweak this here, tweak that there. And, you know, took the time to make sure that, you know, the arrows fit the bow, which is a big, huge, important factor.
And he explained how we, you know, what
how he did
the arrows for growth of the arrows, too.
Right. So we've got that test coming up throughout the whole season. You know, we're going to let these kids shoot them on the range, but we're also going to take them right out into the field. Actually, we're going to have 3 of them in the field this year. Now, whether they get to arrow an animal or not, we don't know that yet. We're going to put them in position, and hopefully they can pull it off. You know, and if they can't, the important thing is that they're in the field.
Right.
You know, in the field with dad or with another adult or maybe even mom. Maybe mom's a hunter. You get them kids out there, and you know what? Let them go at it. So
with the 5 kids we've got lined up, we've got a nice range of age and size. We've got boys and girls.
Right. Yeah, that's another important factor.
Nice cross cut of everything. I think we'll be able to cover anything a parent's going to ask or think about, and we've got a nice cut of the different kids out there.
Right.
Boys, the girls, the bigger kids, the smaller kids. And they're going to give us some nice opinions on what they think about these products. You
know, we're looking at the age range from 9 to 14.
Right.
And we're looking at 3 boys and 2 girls.
Yep.
1 boy and 2 girls are going to be in the woods hunting this fall. The other 2 boys are still growing and getting into the age to where they can hunt. So, I mean, if you folks out there have any concerns, questions about youth bows, any questions you want answered, by all means, make sure that you ask us so we can address those issues.
That's right. We can talk about those issues as they come up and ask the kids about them.
Right.
We're shooting bows. You know, we've got the Matthews that we got from Matthews. We got the kids can go the whole range to be able to a bow that's set up so they can learn the proper forms to bows that they can actually grow with to an adult even because they can set up to 50 pounds plus. Has draw lengths up to 28 inches.
Right.
I mean,
which is longer than what I shoot.
I was going to say, you guys are shooting that. I'm a little bit longer arm, so I'm shooting past that. But I'm looking at a lot of these guys out there, and 28 inches is plenty. That's an adult draw length.
Yeah, I think I'm shooting 27 and a half. So actually, the bow that Michael's got now to use this season, actually, we could build it up into something that I could shoot if you know. I mean, and I'm an adult.
That bow goes up to 28 inches, and with the limb program can go up, I do believe, to 60 pounds.
Right, which is more than enough for an adult.
More than enough.
You know.
And watching these bows shoot at Mikey was at 36 pounds when he put on the scale.
38.
38.
Yeah. That bow was faster than the last bow I had before I went up to my hole.
Oh yeah, I was blown away by how small a bow. I mean, not small size, but small poundage, but how fast it was.
Yeah, and we talked to Mindy because Mindy was shooting the Parker.
Right.
And her comment was, "That was really smooth, Dad."
Yeah, yeah. You know,
he started out at. She's getting to the range where she's been practicing all summer to get to the to the hunting poundage.
Right.
She was on the Matthews, got to 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That was the max for that. And she went right into 26 pounds right now.
Right.
Hit at 27 pounds, she couldn't draw it. He just took a pound off 26 pounds and just smooth as glass, pulling that back.
Yep. It's amazing. You know, and there was another younger adult there. He was probably, I think, right around 30 years old. He was picking up a new bow, and they were tuning that one while we were there, too, and we got to talking back and forth. And he was using, I believe, an old Bear. Bear Kodiak 2. I may be wrong. I don't know. It was his grandfather's compound. You know, and I said, dude, he picked up an actual, I think it was another Bear compound bow. I said, when you shoot that for the first time, I said, I want to see your reaction.
Yeah, it's going to be unreal.
I said, because I tell you what, the technology has come so far in the last 5 to 10 years. I said, especially compared to what you're shooting that's probably 20 to 30 years old. And I said, it's just lightning quick, you know. Yeah. And I kept walking over while you were talking with the manager and them and the guy back there doing the setup, Mike. And I stuck my head over in the door, and I'm watching him shoot on the range, that kid, man. And when his face just lit up, man. It's just like, oh, my gosh, this thing is so fast. And I'm like, you know, there's nothing better than watching a kid or even an adult when they shoot for the first time, and then you see that grin on their face. You know, that says it all.
And talking about the old products, I
yeah.
mean, these old products are quality products. It's just technology changing.
Yeah, technology is changing so fast.
Even my older bow that Megan's shooting now.
Right.
It's a great product, and she loves it, and it's a great bow to use, but there's a world of difference going to that and the new parallel limb technology.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's night and day.
Night and day, yeah.
And what I like is so innovative with this new technology is the fact of these module systems they've got for changing draw lengths without putting the bow in a press.
Without putting in a press, without putting new modules in them.
They're built
taking
ready.
a couple screws out.
Swiveling them.
They're swiveling these little cams, you know, half an inch or so, and all these dozen holes are marked and tagged. And he said, here's a mark, here's your number. Line that up, put the screw back in, and you're done.
You're done. It's simple as that. Do it right on the kitchen table.
It's not changing your draw length. It's not changing your poundage. I mean, it's changing your draw length because that's what the cam does.
Yeah,
but it's not knocking things out of alignment.
Right. Everything stays aligned.
Everything stays the same.
Properly.
Yeah, it's big change of technology. I mean, it used to be you didn't have a lot of choice for youth bows.
You know, and you talk about changing technology. Some of the things I've seen, even with broadheads, I don't know how much you looked at today, but some of the companies we talk to, everything seems to be getting smaller. You still got wide cut, but everything's getting shorter. They're short and fat.
Yep.
You know, you're keeping that.
A lot more products are having razor all the way to the tip.
Yep, on contact cut.
Seeing that, not just the tricar, you know, the cut on contact points, but we're seeing a lot more products going to razor blade all the way to the tip.
Yep, all the way forward to the tip.
All the way forward. Yep.
You know, it's all the way forward cut on contact. Some new innovative systems with a couple of the mechanicals, the way that they deploy. Some very interesting concepts of the things they got there, and we've got that on tape as well.
So the mechanicals we have, each one is very different on how they function.
That's right.
It'll be really interesting how they work because they each are going down a totally different path on how that mechanical or kinetic head works.
And deploys
really,
the
they're
blades.
not really mechanical. It's all kinetics.
Right. Yeah, it's the deployment systems they use now is using the energy of the arrow to actually open the arrow either on contact or either after penetration even. Some of these are penetrating the animal then opening up, which is a totally different concept than I'm used to.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to put some of that stuff to the test and see what it does, you know?
Yeah, this should be interesting.
So, Michael, you're sitting over in the corner. You're awful quiet.
Yeah, I'm tired.
You're tired. I want what as a youth today going to that event. What was the thing that caught your eye or impressed you the most?
Calls.
Yeah.
The fly tying.
Yeah.
We knew where he was and we couldn't find him. He's tying flies.
Yeah, they did have a couple off-topic vendors there. You know, they had they had a waterfowl booth there.
Delta Waterfowl.
Delta Waterfowl was there, and they had a fly tying station where kids or adults could tie flies.
Yeah, he was tying flies, and me and Chuck went over and talked to him. He said, "Hop on the bus." So we were like, "Okay."
No problem. I knew that wouldn't stop you.
Yeah, Chuck tied his first 2 flies, and he did pretty good.
That's cool. Well, but besides that, I mean, archery-wise, what's the thing that caught your eye? Matter of fact, I know what caught your eye. There was the the scent deployment system. You immediately
You drug us down to that one.
you drug me down to that table, that vendor.
Give Mikey credit for that one.
And
That's good.
there is a very unique deployment system of scent wafers or scent bottles or for whatever you call them, scent bombs. A really new, unique product that.
One of the first interviews we did this morning.
Yeah.
It was it R&M?
R&M, yeah.
R&M.
They we've got video of how all that works, and we'll get more into that. And we maybe get on to doing a show on scent control or putting attractant scents or cover scents out. But beyond that, I mean, talk to us a little bit about what you found interesting there, or that you saw that really caught your eye. I don't want to hear about the chili table.
Oh, man, that was good. That was good. I'd probably say the American Broadhead, like you said, how small they are.
How short?
Yeah.
How short the heads are?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like penny size. And either that or probably just the bow setups, how they had the bow set out.
Oh, the different
different
vendors who had their
vendors.
they had quite a few vendors out there with different products out there.
I like G5's bow.
You like
That's a new product.
That's a new product that's out. That
They
G5
took over Ross.
correct.
Ross Archery.
Yep, and they're putting out their own line there. So they don't offer a youth model yet. So they're just
I think he says a couple years down the line.
Yeah.
They wanted to
Once it gets out.
get the product out into the market. Kind of reintroduces the G5 products. Since
Right.
They bought Ross. They made a few changes to it. It looked like.
right,
It looked like a very sharp bow.
right. Got to draw it back.
Yeah, very
They-
solid with full draw.
Yeah, it has a
No more
very
flex on it. It
yeah.
locks right up.
it has a very solid back wall on it after let off. I mean, there's just no give to it at all. I mean, you hit the wall and it's there. It's rock hard. Didn't get to fire it. Didn't get to put any arrows down range, but it'd be interesting to get my hands on one and fire some arrows through it. Yeah.
We'll have to do an adult test.
Yeah.
We did
Anybody
youth
listening out there, if you want to donate some adult bows, we'll be
Adult
glad to
test
test
now.
those also.
test. We want to try some of the new products we were seeing today.
But we'll reserve that maybe for next season.
Matthews and Hoyt.
Next season, possibly. But
Surprisingly, those were two groups we didn't see there.
Yeah.
that's true. Two of the biggest the two heavy hitters in the
Now,
industry.
probably is because they don't sell through Gander Mountain. It was a Gander event.
It was a Gander event. It was Gander
I'd say
vendors.
probably Diamond and Bowtech were the main ones there.
And
Yeah.
Parker.
was there.
Yeah.
PSE, Brownie.
Those are all brands that are sold through Gander Mountain.
That's
Gander
right.
Mountain put the event on. I think generally it's their vendors. Now they had a lot of new products that weren't in the Gander Mountain yet.
Right.
Were being ready to be
Sold in the store.
Sold through the store. So,
Yeah. So
but I wouldn't be surprised that Ken's got such a thing rolling there that maybe a couple years down the line you start seeing
Yeah.
he's bringing in vendors that he doesn't have in the store because it's a big archery event.
right, and you might see a Matthews who does sell in some of the bigger stores. Now Hoyt is generally a dealer only
Right.
company, so we probably won't see
Well,
one of their
you
lines.
Get some of these guys that are selling they're multiple distributors is what they are. And
Right.
if they're at the right level, they may be bringing in Hoyt products.
They very well could
We're
be.
not preaching Hoyt products. We're just speculating on seeing
Right.
some of these other brands out
Right.
there we didn't see. We didn't see Martin.
Didn't see Panther Martin, no.
No. So there's some other brands out there that we didn't see. But like I said, this is his first year for this big event.
Right.
And
Bear was there.
Bear was there, yep.
Yeah, they were 13.
And again, that's through Gander Mountain. So I would not be surprised to see that this grows into something where he starts bringing in
Other companies along the way.
vendors that may not go through Gander Mountain just because it turns into a bigger archery event.
One thing I didn't see there, and it's no knock on the event at all by any means, but I didn't see a lot of apparel, camo apparel there. As far as
No, there's a scent lock.
there was Scentlock was there
Display.
with their stuff, and
Really, the only one that caught my eye was clothing.
Lacrosse was there, though.
Lacrosse had their
Yeah,
footwear
they had
there.
Some boots.
But you walk in the store, man. When you walk in the middle of a Gander Mountain store, man, it's just bam, it's camo.
Right.
It screams camo to you. And maybe that's something that they'll do later on. Bring in some of the clothing lines to promote
What
some
I
of their
did
products.
notice that a lot of the products were done in mossy oak.
Mossy oak, one of my favorite patterns.
It is. It's a really good pattern for Michigan. Down here
yeah,
where we hunt.
it fits our area so well.
Yeah.
We hunt in, a lot of scrub type oak woods here, and and it covers such a broad area that it works well in a lot of different situations here in Michigan.
It's funny because I go out and I buy something new camo and I buy some mossy oak. I get looking at it when I get home and realize I'm buying the same pattern on everything. Even when I had my gun dipped. And
you and I have talked about this here in the last couple of weeks, and we may get a little more into this than some of the other shows, and we'll let you in on a little something later on. But I've started checking a lot of the stuff I use, and I start going through all my camo, and I might find a little piece here, a little piece there that's not mossy oak, and I don't buy by. I didn't think I bought by brand, but I do. All my major gear, the more I check it, the more it's all mossy oak.
We're buying. We didn't pick out a name to begin with. We picked out what worked for us.
I picked out the pattern. Location. Yeah, I picked out the pattern that works best in this location.
It turned out to be the new breakup.
And
it's a perfect pattern down here.
It just, it just kind of. I really never give. I mean, I give a lot of thought to my cover, but like I said, when you start actively seeking out and looking at brands,
right, and everybody makes a good product. I'm not knocking any manufacturer out there, and every different area is going to have something that works for them.
Works for that specific area.
Works for that specific area. I was just making a comment that I was looking at all these products,
and a lot of them, that's what they're putting on their products.
That's what they're putting on the products.
A lot of that's what's on most of the bows out there.
I wish I would have tried to find out was whether or not they were putting these on because they were targeting
Michigan, our
region, the Michigan region, the lower Michigan region even.
That would be an interesting question to post to the companies.
Right, or their product just comes out with that.
Right.
They signed up on with mossy oak and they're just putting mossy oak on. Or, they're putting a specific pattern for a location.
They may be branded with that company. They may not. They may be branding per region.
Exactly. It'd be interesting to find out someday.
So, but you're sitting over there quiet again, Michael.
Yeah. I think he's tired.
I walked his little legs off today. He was a trooper, though. He hung right in there. But
hopefully the video turns out because he had me running the camera.
Yeah, we'll see how good the video turns out. I know the audio will be good because I was doing the interviews.
I mean, it may have been looking at the top of the tent and, at my who knows who I was looking at.
What we're going to do, though, just kind of wrap this all up a little bit. The interviews we did shoot on video, we're also going to take and pull the audio off and put them on the podcast. But it may be a while before I get time to actually sit down and take all the video, cut it up, and put it in a good format, so everything flows well to where we can put it up on the internet so you guys can look at it that way also and see some of these products that we're talking about and some of the demonstrations that the reps showed us.
I think we did enough video and interviews today that it's probably got enough information to cover a summer's worth of a podcast.
That's what I'm hoping to do, is take this throughout the season here leading up into bow season, kind of getting ready for archery season. And if you guys aren't thinking about archery season right now, it's time to start thinking about it. You need to be out practicing. Get that bow out and start practicing. We went through this last year on the podcast. Now's the time to start building muscle memory. You got to get out and you got to shoot. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. And I don't mean building bad habits either. Make sure your form's correct. Have somebody watch you shoot. But once you get that form down, then it's all about repetition.
Get out there at least once a week.
At least.
Don't shoot 6 arrows and say, yep, I'm on target, I'm good.
I'm heading to the woods.
Shoot 60 arrows and make sure that last shot is as good as your first shot.
That's right.
Take your time and do it.
Or for muscle memory, one thing that I got.
Yeah, we got a little neat little product that actually we'll be sharing on the podcast to help build muscle memory. So, and that was from Third Hand Archery.
Nice.
It's, when I first saw this, I thought it was brass knuckles.
That's what it looks like.
Plastic knuckles.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Looks like plastic brass knuckles.
But it's a neat little device that this guy called it his bow flex.
His little bow flex.
And that's what it is. It's to build muscle memory, but to use your bow as an actual exercise device.
Yeah.
Safely.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that on the show.
We'll talk about that later on.
But I think I just want to kind of wrap that up. I just want to give you guys a general overview of what we went through at the show today and things we saw. And guys, just come back and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, anybody you know that shoots, pass along the podcast because we're going to have a lot of information.
And you didn't make it, it's on tomorrow.
That's right.
You got time, get there because it's really, really worth going.
No, we're not going to have this up until tomorrow night.
That's
It'll be
true.
over.
I'm sorry. Today's, never mind. Okay, you missed it. Too bad. You out of luck.
Wait till next year.
You lost out because it was a phenomenal program.
So we'll just kind of end it there, and we'll just kind of fill you in throughout the season. And
I just one more time I want to thank everybody we interviewed today. Just a personal bunch of folks out there. Some good information. They took the time to talk to us, let us interview them. Phenomenal event put on by Gander Mountain. I want to thank Ken and Derek and Mike one more time.
Yep.
Just great. We really appreciate it.
Yep, can't say enough for everybody there. There's no better place to be than around a bunch of guys who love to hunt.
There we go.
I talked more hunting today than I did tech. I mean, we talked a lot of technical stuff, but we talked a lot of hunting.
A lot of hunting stories.
Yeah, so
we heard a lot of good stories today.
Some of them we can't mention on the show, but it is a lot of fun, believe me. But we'll just kind of end it there, and you guys just tune in again, and we're going to fill your head full of archery throughout the season here.
I'm going to go home and go to bed.
All right. Well, good night.
Good night.
Once again, we haven't said it enough to those guys out there, to the vendors and to the guys at Gander Mountain. Thank you for the event. Thank you for helping us out with the youth stuff that we're going to be doing, the youth bow review. Thank you to the vendors who were going to help us out with that. And it was just a great time. The guys that you didn't go, if you couldn't go or if you forgot about it, man, you missed an awesome time. I don't know what happened out there today. This is Sunday evening here.
Yeah.
This was the last day of it. But, man, it was just a great time. I can't wait till next year.
Yeah.
Or wait till maybe they'll have a waterfowl classic or something out there, or a whitetail one. I don't know, but that was just it was a fun time. It was great to be able to sit around and talk to guys about hunting and fishing and whatever, you know.
One thing I forgot to tell you, me and Chuck, they had halfway through when we were going in and out, taking stuff back and forth to the truck, they gave us some flyers and it signed up to get a free bow.
Uh-huh.
And me and him both signed up for it.
Oh, yeah? Well, I seen that when we went in. I signed one of those, too.
Yeah.
They give them out to everybody that come in, so I don't know. Hey, we might win a bow. Who knows? But, it was just a great time. A lot of information, a ton of information.
Yeah.
And a lot of great guys, And if you've never been to one of these events before, by all means, it doesn't have to be an archery event. It can be waterfowl. It can be whitetail. It can be, any type of hunting or even fishing show. Yeah. What you need to do is just get your buddies and go out to them and hang out. They're a good time, and it's a lot of fun. So, with that being said, you got anything else you want to add to the show?
Just Chuck, good luck setting up your bow and have fun shooting it. When he shot his compound for the first time at the archery shoot, his face lit up.
Yeah, that's something we did here this weekend. My buddy Chuck, and I want to interview him. I just didn't have time. He had to bust home last night. Like I said earlier, he had a totally different perspective on things because he's not an archer at all. He's not been archery hunting, and he didn't own a bow. I could see the enthusiasm that he had yesterday. He was like a sponge, just soaking up information, and you could tell there was that drive and that desire there for him to get into that. So, with you getting some new equipment. And you were actually using my bow from last year.
Yeah, it was pretty big for me.
And it's a fairly new bow, and it was already set up and ready to go. So I called him up today. I said, "Hey, buddy, come over here. I got something for you." And he stopped over here at the house, and I said, "Yeah, here you go. Take this and use it. Have it." And he kind of looked at me, and he didn't know what to say. And I'm like, a lot of guys hooked us up yesterday with some stuff, and I want to hook you up with something, I didn't want that bow to sit there and go to waste, because that's what was going to happen. That bow,
a dust collector.
It was going to be a dust collector, and it's a great bow. There's nothing wrong with it. It's more than capable of taking any big game here in Michigan. And I said, "Here, you know what? You need a bow. You want a bow, and this thing's sitting here, and I want to, do my part as far as encouraging people to get in the outdoors," and that's what I did. I said, "Here, take it and have fun with it." So he's like,
actually, you gave him two, didn't you?
Yeah, there's another older one I give him because he talked about some interest in some bow fishing, and it would be a great rig to put a bow fishing rig on. So maybe you and him can get out there and put a few arrows and some carp or something this year. So. But, you know, you guys, if you got some older gear laying around and it's still in good shape and you know somebody can use it, donate it to them, man. I mean, what better way to get somebody interested in the outdoors? You know, help them to get in the outdoors. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, Chuck, good luck with the bow, setting it up. Get out there and start learning about the mystical flight of the arrow, man.
I can tell he learned a lot of stuff yesterday from listening to some of the guys that we talked to.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of good information at those shows. And like I said, he was like a sponge. So, but there's nothing like the mystical flight of the arrow. It's addictive. It's like a drug almost. It's just, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's a whole different realm. I mean, I love to shoot firearms. I love to shoot guns. But when it comes to bows, man, I don't know. It puts me in a different place. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm at peace. I'm in a different world almost, it seems like. It's just nothing like putting an arrow downrange, whether it be at a target or whether it be at an animal. Either way, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, did you ever see the Burger King crowns we got?
Yeah. Before we go, folks, I'll let him explain this story.
We were getting kind of bored and stuff when they were doing an interview, so he gave us the keys to the car, and we went out for lunch break. Just to let you know, Chuck did drive.
Yeah, Michael's not old enough to drive yet.
Yeah, so
at least that's what they tell me.
But we ended up going to Burger King, and we just picked up a few crowns, and we put them on. We walked out with them on. Everyone was laughing at us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You see what I got to put up with, guys? These crazy guys, I tell you. I don't know. And the biggest thing that got me was when I ran back out to the truck for a few minutes, they forgot to tell me where they parked the truck. I'm walking around the parking lot like a ding-dong looking for the truck. Where to park the truck?
Yeah, and you came back and you said, oh, it took us forever to find it. I'm like, oh, did you finally go to the Walmart parking lot?
Yeah, it's about where it was at, too.
Yeah.
No, we had a good day. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we decided not to park in that parking lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, but that's all I got this week, man. It was packed. It was fun, and we got
dangerous with the storms.
Dangerous with the storms, but you know what? We got a lot of stuff to pass along in the upcoming week. So, guys, make sure if you know anybody that's interested in archery, hook them up with a show. You know, pass the word along about the show. You know, help promote the show for us. We'd appreciate it. You got any questions? You got anything that you think that you don't agree with? Send us a comment along too. You know, we're not afraid to discuss back and forth if you don't agree with what we're saying. So, with that being said, just shoot us an email at Mikey's Game Bag at upnorthjournal.com. That's Michael. That's little Mike's email address, and mine is Michael Adams at upnorthjournal.com. Go over to our website, upnorthjournal.com. Check it out there. We're going to have a bunch of links there to a lot of the stuff we did. And to the guys that we talked to here this weekend, just keep checking back with us on our website. And we're periodically going to be working through these interviews and things of that nature and these reviews and putting them up every week on a continual basis. And we're going to get through them here right before archery season and then rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it this week for the Up North Journal. As we always say, if you're out in the woods or on the water, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.